and welcome back to my channel. I am gonna keep this one super short and super sweet, hopefully. I am gonna talk about the things that I am not bringing to the hospital. So currently I am almost 32 weeks pregnant. So I do still have a little bit more time to go, and if you have been around for a little bit, you know that this is my third baby, but it is my third baby, or my first baby in 12 years. So it's been a while, but I do definitely remember things that I used and things that I didn't use and things that I certainly want to have with me this time around. And like you probably watching this video, I have been doing all of the research and watching so many videos about what to pack in your hospital bag and what the hospital gives you and all of that kind of thing. And while I'm watching all of these, because again, I do need a refresher, it has been a while, but I definitely think I'm kind of seeing some repetitive stuff that I personally don't think I will bring or need. I would also think that I'm a little bit more of a minimalist, I guess. I don't want to bring, I'm watching a lot of these videos, and no shade to everybody, everybody's different. You should do what is right for you, right for your family, right for how you feel. This is obviously just my own experience and my personal opinions. I will do a what's in my hospital bag once it is fully ready and packed, which is it is not yet. But when it is, I will share everything that I am packing with you. But a lot of the videos that I'm watching, a lot of the women are bringing like huge duffel bags with them to the hospital, which is kind of crazy to me, because I'm just like, I feel in that moment, you're really just thinking about so many other things, I guess. And I am definitely somebody who feels less is more. I like to feel like my space is minimal, or the stuff that I have in my space is minimal. So hopefully you find this helpful. If you do, please feel free to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Like I said, I will share what's in my hospital bag once it is ready to go. But for now, I just want to talk about the things that I'm continually seeing that I certainly won't be bringing. The first thing is makeup. I'm seeing so many people say that they are packing a makeup bag, which to me, again, do your own thing. If that's what's going to make you feel good or whatever, then more power to you. You know, I am certainly not that person. And I just feel like when I'm in the hospital, I'm really just going to be focused on birth and recovery and that special time and those special moments. And I really don't want to, and I hope that you don't either feel like you need to look a certain way or feel a certain way or anything like that. I really just want to be able to focus on that time bonding with baby and sharing that moment with my husband, and just kind of being in our own little bubble during that time. So makeup is certainly not something that I'm personally going to be worrying about. Again, I'm just also not that person, really. So that's my number one thing that I'm seeing, and I'm just like, I can't believe so many people bring it to the hospital. But I digress. The second thing that I want to talk about that I'm seeing a lot of people talk about packing in their hospital bag is pillows and blankets. And while I totally understand the concept of bringing pillows and blankets, I mean, you're in the hospital and it's super kind of sterile and not super comfortable and homey, and obviously during that time you want to be able to be as comfortable as possible. So I do understand why. However, also just one of those things that when I'm running out the door, well, probably not running, but when I'm getting ready to go to the hospital, or I'm, trying to figure out what I'm bringing or whatever, I want to bring as little as possible. Like it will literally be my hospital bag, which isn't very big, my diaper bag, and my purse, which is literally a satchel with my health care information in it. I don't want to be lugging a whole bunch of stuff. It's, again, during that time, you really want to focus and prioritize what you need to do. And I feel like the less you have to worry about, the better mental space you're going to be in, if that makes sense. So that's number one. I think it is maybe something that you don't really need to worry about when you're running out the door. But also through my own experience, I've definitely brought some comfort items that have been forgotten, that have been ruined just due to the nature of everything that's happening while you're at the hospital. So I again, definitely I can make do for hopefully those 24 hours, not a big deal. It may be less. I do have a midwife, so we have something in Ontario called early discharge. If you are under midwifery care and your labor and delivery went well, normally you can leave a few hours after, so hopefully I won't even have to stay in the hospital that long. But even if I do, a pillow and blanket is just, you're probably not going to be getting that much sleep anyway. And again, just one more thing to bring. Another thing that I want to talk about is bringing a whole bunch of clothing. I have definitely, not only for myself, but for my children in the past, I have overpacked. I overpack a lot of times when we go on vacation and stuff. And I know that I just said that I was a minimalist. To a certain extent I am, but I definitely like to be prepared 100 million %. I like to have exactly what I'm going to need. And I'm double and triple checking, making sure that I have everything. So one mistake that I feel like I have made in the past, which I really don't want to do this time around, is just packing too much clothing. Again, ideally I will only be there less than 24 hours. Worst case scenario, 48. If for whatever reason, knock on wood, I have to have a C-section or something like that, 48 hours. So what do I really need? And during that time, I'm probably not going to want to be in and out of clothing a lot. I'll probably just stick to one or two basic items that I likely will even go home in. Again, one of those things that I'm probably not going to be overly concerned about. And clothing items can really take up a lot of room in your bag. Again, a reason why these people are bringing huge duffel bags is because they have a week's worth of clothes. And I certainly don't want to do that. So I will bring basic necessities, a nursing bra, maybe comfortable pajamas, a birthing gown, something that I can open from the front and can be accessible in the bottom, and then something comfortable to wear after that. That's really all you need. And then a going home outfit, which again, you want to be mindful of what that is and how you're going to feel afterwards. You're probably going to want something super comfortable. This is a hard one, and I feel like most moms do this. Like I said, I have done this a million times in the past, so no judgment, but third go around, definitely not overpacking a diaper bag. It is so hard to try and decide what the going home outfit is going to be, and you're going to want to take photos, and you get all of these cute little clothing items, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to bring everything, I can't decide. And you end up bringing 8 different outfits to the hospital with you for baby. And then realistically, you don't even know what size they're going to be. So half the stuff you're probably going to bring won't even fit them. And a lot of times, again, depending on how long you're in the hospital, they really are just kind of wearing a diaper and a swaddle anyway. So keep that in mind, that's not something, again, that you really want to be worrying about or should be worrying about, as long as they're comfortable and you're comfortable. And you can also, maybe pick one outfit that is your favorite if you really want to take photos in the hospital or whatever. But again, hopefully you're not going to be there that long, and you can come home and dress up and take all of the photos that you want. So again, just one of those other items that I think is something to be really mindful of is the amount of clothing that you think you and baby are going to need is probably half that. And if you're anything like me, again, that's probably the the stickler, the hard part, you know. Another thing, I said blankets and pillows for myself, but also blankets for baby. My last two babies, I have definitely brought my own swaddles and blankets for the baby, when in reality, obviously depending on where you live and when you're having a baby, my babies, including this one, will all be born in the springtime, but in the springtime in Ontario, Canada, like we usually still have snowstorms and it's usually pretty crappy and cold. So I definitely will bring one blanket just to put over the car seat. But I, you know, again, one of those things, I'm not going to be changing in and out of blankets and all that kind of thing as well. So those are the main things that I think a lot of people bring. Oh, actually, I want to talk about comfort items while you're in labor. I've seen a lot of, I'm not going to say what to bring and what not to bring, because at the end of the day, labor is so different for everybody and your pain tolerance is so different for everybody, and what is going to help you in labor is going to help you in labor. And by all means, you're going to need all the help that you can get. You know what I mean? If you feel like something is going to make you more comfortable, no matter how silly people think that it is, bring it so that you have it. If you don't use it, then you don't use it. But at least you have the peace of mind knowing that you have it if you want it. That's one thing I definitely notice about like the what's in my hospital bag, or what I used, what I didn't use. I think that this is the same for like baby item videos and stuff like that too. Every person, every woman, every baby is so different. So while it's good to have a guideline, especially if you're a first-time mom that has never experienced labor, it's definitely good to have a guideline and some advice on what you may possibly want, not really knowing what to expect, but also know yourself and think about other times that maybe you have been in pain or discomfort, and think about the things that helped you during those times. And whatever those things may be, just bring them so that you have them. Try not to get too caught up and think that you're going to need everything under the sun, because again, you are in a period of time where you're going to be very there's a whole lot going on, you know what I mean? So it's not like you're going to be calm, cool, and collected and like looking through your bag of tricks and saying like, oh, like what should I use now, you know? It can be a very chaotic time, and you may not have a lot of patience or anything like that to be going through your bag. So, you know, maybe be mindful of that as well. Like, don't bring absolutely everything, but be aware of who you are and what is going to make you comfortable, and things that have made you feel comfort in the past. And don't get too caught up about what other people say helped them and didn't help them, because they are a completely different person than you. So try and focus on what is going to make you comfortable, and don't get too hung up on like the things that are all the rage or whatever, right? But yeah, that is about it. Those are like the main things I continue to see a lot. Oh, I brought up the comfort things. The reason that I said that is because I see a lot of people say they're bringing diffusers or other kinds of contraptions, like electronic contraptions, those kinds of things, to the hospital. And I just wanted to mention, depending on where you live, what your situation is, what your care providers are like, if you are thinking of bringing anything like that to the hospital, I 100% would recommend you checking with your local labor and delivery ward, or asking your care provider what their policies are on that kind of thing, because not every hospital is going to allow you, I don't know why I said allow you to have types of those things in the room with you. So definitely make sure, if you are thinking of bringing anything that may kind of seem out of the ordinary, definitely check with your care provider or your hospital to see what is allowed and what is not allowed. And just to close it off as well, I feel like a lot of the videos I watch, I mean, let's be honest, I feel like most of the videos on YouTube, a lot of the influencers, a lot of like, you know, the people that we are looking to for advice are American, which is wonderful and which is great, and no shade to my American friends here. But as a Canadian, I definitely think that our healthcare system is very, very, very different. And I'm watching a lot of like what I packed in my hospital bag, and mom saying, oh, well, my hospital provided this and they provided this and they provided this and they provided this, which again, fabulous. But keep in mind where you live, again, especially as a first-time mom, may be different, or like the hospital and what they provide for you may be very different in different areas. So for me, living in Ontario, my hospital is not going to provide, like I see a lot of American women say that their hospitals give them like dermaplast and ice packs and all this other kind of stuff for postpartum recovery. Ontario hospitals don't do that. Again, depending on where you give birth, so check your situation depending on where you are. Your care provider will also probably have this information for you as well. But keep that in mind. Knowing what you may or may not need is going to be really, really, really important, because you would hate to like watch these videos and expect that it's kind of the same across the board, and then you get there and you're like, oh, I didn't pack any of this stuff because I thought it was going to be supplied, or vice versa. You packing all of this stuff because you didn't think that they were going to give it to you, and then they go ahead and give it to you, right? So I would definitely say be mindful of what that looks like for you. Speak to your care provider, speak to your hospital, and see what it is that they're going to provide you. And also just speak to your care provider as well and ask them like what they think you might need, you know, or what their experience has been with other women. This may be not so much during your laboring period, but for delivery purposes, right? Like you don't want to go out and get a whole bunch of stuff that you may not use. That's another thing I feel like people talk about. They have perineal spray, they have the ice packs, they have wipes, they have tucks, they have dermaplast, they have this. And again, to each his own, do your own thing. And like, it's no easy feat once you're, you know, in it and on it and through it. It's hard, and recovery is challenging, and it's not delightful. You know, it's certainly uncomfortable and can be painful. So again, just kind of knowing yourself, knowing your body, what you think you might need. But I also don't think that you need 8 different types of perineal spray. You know what I mean? Like maybe kind of get recommendations on like one that worked really well in combination with maybe another product that somebody recommends to you. You know, I don't really think that you need 8 different things that do the same thing. And it's also going to be one of those things that you don't know how you're going to feel, and you don't know how you're going to recover. So a lot of these things can also wait until after you have had your baby, and you can see how you're feeling and go from there. If you are feeling that the pain is not that great, or you're not feeling that uncomfortable, then, you know, it's kind of going to suck if you went and bought every single postpartum recovery vagina product that you could, knowing that now that you didn't really need it, or vice versa, right? So definitely that is something that can wait and see. Obviously we all have Amazon Prime, where we could get something within the day, or send our care, our support people out to help us, or ask for somebody to grab something for us should we need it. So you can kind of wait and see how you feel before you start purchasing an abundance of things. So I said I was going to keep it short and sweet. I lied, because I am a rambler. What's that song? Wanderer. I'm a wanderer. Oh, wanderer. Yeah, I was thinking rambler, but excuse me. I am a rambler. So I did not keep it short and sweet. So like I said, I will do a what's in my bag when my bag is packed. But for now, I hope that that was helpful to you. I know that, like, you know, especially being a first-time mom, well, like, not even necessarily, you know, like, I'm not a first-time mom, and I'm certainly feeling like very overwhelmed, and like, I don't know, so much has changed in 12 years, so I don't know, like, what all the new things are and what I should have and what I shouldn't have, you know what I mean? Like, it can all, the whole situation can be really overwhelming. And like I said, my best advice is just keep it simple, keep it light, keep it to the things that are going to make you feel good. Don't feel pressure to follow everybody else's advice. Take what you want and leave the rest. And do what you feel is going to be best for you, but don't feel like you need to bring a, you know, huge duffel bag to the hospital just for yourself, because you're probably not going to need to, and it's just one more thing that you're going to have to worry about. So I really hope that this was helpful for you, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Sending love.